Salve a tutti, benvenuti in questo nuovo video di Ace Combat. Siamo pronti per dominare i cieli, quindi continuiamo la nostra missione.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing
L'Osea
widespread
dovrebbero essere gli Stati
destruction.
Uniti.
The Air Defense Force has
Teoria.
released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Erusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Erusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Erusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war.
Siamo in guerra.
Stay tuned
Signore e
for further
signori,
updates.
siamo in guerra.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Erusia was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from two continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Erusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Erusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being
Mosse
a republic
tattiche.
back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone.
As of 1 p.m. today,
The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer.
Scena d'arte della missione.
In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delete of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
Dispiace.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison.
In carcere.
This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape.
Ma mi sa che t'è andata male,
And set the dogs on me.
Dai, yeah.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advanced
Dai, partiamo allora, su. Dai, veloce.
First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Comandi. Quanti so? Questi sono tutti i radar. Dobbiamo cercare di far fuori i radar. Allora. Ok, aereo ci andiamo. Vogliamo continuare col nostro Tomcat. E dai, poi magari dopo proviamo qualcun altro. Allora, vediamo un po'. Lo sai che mi sa che aria-terra a sto giro ci fanno comodo. Quante so? 14 contro i 56 missili. Prendiamo sempre questi, va.
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
Nuvole frammentate. 17 maggio 2019.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. Yep. Locked.
Ah, ho sbagliato.
H2, target destroyed.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Get the radar vehicle out of there!
Dice, no, ho capito.
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun. Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Oh, piglialo.
Fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle! Permission to move the vehicle! We can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now. We're using the containers now. Those weapons are meant for tactical flexibility.
Missile launched. The enemy's barely resisting. This is easy money,
Oh,
so
questo non
fire
vi-
while you can.
Missile. Missile.
Dove?
Missile. 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 Missile.
Missile, guarda quanti. Tutti per me?
Missile.
Target has been destroyed. Way to go.
Bisogna andare più piano, dai.
What the hell do you mean the nearest airbase hasn't got any fighters?
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds. Wilco, here they come. Take them down.
Allora, sono deciso se andiamo a pigliare subito sti radar.
Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via
Andiamo a pigliare
satellites.
aerei.
It's reliable, so trust your radars. Trigger, there's one more to go. Good work, Trigger. The enemy's a lovely pile of
Ma via deve essere sul postino, no?
That was the
Ah,
last
l'abbiamo
radar
mancati.
vehicle. Great work. Radar vehicles destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission.
That's a miss.
Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transports are tagged.
Box 2.
Preso. E uno, vai.
The clouds don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. Deceivers can sometimes lose their lock onto their targets.
Mamma mia, abbiamo rischiato di piarlo pieno.
Box 2. No, they're not linked to the radar vehicles. Launch manually. Redo the setup. Here's some feedback from those poor merchants. Write your manuals in a language we can understand.
Mamma mia, quanti so, raga.
Wait, so you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
Con sto bianco non si vede niente.
Missile did not connect. They're losing it after their allies on the ground were taken
Che
out.
ce l'avevo.
5 targets remaining.
Missile.
Command and evaded the attack.
Missile. Missile.
Fox 3. Fox 3.
Mamma mia, manco uno ne avevo preso.
Missile.
H2. Missile launch.
Ok, cominciamo a andare a pigliare qualcosa, dai. Stanno a far giro intorno gli elicotteri.
Missile.
Missile incoming. Evade.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Keep your eyes open in those clouds.
Lontana troppo.
Column 2, you can't go after every target.
Evade that missile.
Target was not struck. Hostile eliminated.
All aircraft. Residential area is below you.
All right, this base is worth destroying.
Cominciamo a distruggere
4
le
targets
postazioni di
remaining.
terra.
Fly into the clouds.
H2, missile launch.
Locked on.
Ci volevano le bombe a terra, però vabbè. Tanti saluti a casa. Dove stai?
Enemies traveled a long way, so they're trying to end this quickly.
Attenzione. Una volta mi sono schiantato addosso a un aereo.
Stand clear, 15 meters. UAVs ready to launch. Away.
Che è successo? Oh oh, eccoli i droni. Ecco, mo si mette male, eh.
What happened?
Da dove vengono?
Status report. Multiple bogeys on radar. They're close. Wait, they're being launched. You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile. Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones. Well spotted, Cloud. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs.
Manco
But that
uno ne abbiamo
doesn't change
preso.
a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down.
Shit.
These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Column 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
Sì, sì, la virata stretta poi ci
It
pensiamo.
doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter. He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning. Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah. Column Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to go.
Coaster up here.
Scappato.
Attack missed. Fox 2. My wings are iced up.
Mazza quanto sono veloci
Eyes
io.
up in there. Fox 2, Fox 2. The enemy does a few moves, but that's about
Ok,
it.
distrutto.
Just chase him down and pull the trigger. I'll buy a dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good.
Ok.
Clouds are screwing up the accuracy. One to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
Il combattimento mo si fa un po' più. Ah, via un paio, va. Come l'ha schivati.
This one's mine.
Mamma mia.
The aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt.
Non vedo. Non capisco.
Where'd he go?
E quindi devo uscire fuori dalle nuvole, ho capito? Io non vedo però.
I'm icing up.
Enemy has a radar lock on you.
Nice kill, Trigger.
Ottimo.
Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
Grazie ragazzi, grazie, grazie.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB. No casualties.
Buono,
Couldn't have
buono.
done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused
Dannate.
casualties.
Ma aspettate.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest. Current target is on.
Buona missione, una buona missione. Riuscita al primo colpo. Invece su quell'altra mi sono schiantato, quindi ho dovuto riniziare.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar.
Grande.
The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Hai ottenuto uno più nuovi design per il MiG-29A, ma sai che il MiG-29 sai che non l'abbiamo comprato? Facciamo un attimo una panoramica dei mezzi. Quindi per fare una panoramica dobbiamo abbandonare la missione. E oddio, dov'era che si vedeva? No, mi sa che bisogna. Sì, bisogna entrare dentro la missione e vedere gli aerei. Dai, se in caso vi vediamo la prossima volta, dai. Quindi la missione 2 ce la siamo fatta molto tranquillamente. Bene. Poi più si va avanti e più diventano difficili. Quindi mo adesso le prime sono per fatte gustare un po' il gioco. Poi dopodiché arrivano le smadonnate quelle serie. Quando ti si attaccano aerei dietro ti cominciano a lanciare missili, non riesci a scrollarteli di dosso. Lì è tosta. Va bene ragazzuoli, questa missione è tutto e ci vediamo nella prossima missione. Ciao!